Well, hello and welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC. Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. Our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution. Growing yourself enables you to grow others. So you can't give what you don't have. So first you must grow yourself to be able to grow others. We believe outstanding leaders like yourself will help us help others. So tonight we have another dynamic leader. You know, every week I like to do a proper introduction. And tonight is no different. I want to do a proper introduction of my guests. So let me introduce Miss Tiffany Williams to you. Now, Tiffany Williams is the CEO and creative director for Twice Media Productions, LLC, a full-service commercial video technology company based in Houston, Texas. She started the business 3 short months after finishing graduate school in 2012. She is also the co-founder and managing director for Diversity Fund Houston, a micro venture capital fund created to invest in minority tech founders. In 2019, Tiffany was named Supplier of the Year by the Houston Minority Supplier Development Council. I told you I don't bring just anybody on the group. We're going to bring high performers, high achievers in the group. In 2016, she was named the Emerging Leader of the Year by the eWomen Network. And in 2015, she won Supplier of the Year from the Women Business Enterprise Alliance. Tiffany is an alumni of Leadership Houston Class 34 and now serves on the board of directors. She also received her bachelor's degree her Bachelor of Arts degree in English from Tennessee State University and her Master of Arts degree in journalism and documentary filmmaking from Michigan State University. So tonight, will you help me welcome Miss Tiffany Williams to the show?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cedrick. That was a wonderful introduction. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me this evening. I wasn't expecting the red carpet rollout, but I see how you do it here on Talking Leadership with Cedrick, so I appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. Look, we don't do anything small here. If you do small, it's time to go home. So everything is big.
I see. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you for coming, and we're excited to have you here tonight. And, you know, Tiffany, tonight we just want to have a gentle conversation around leadership principles, around business, and specifically around Twice Media Productions. Now I will confess that I'm a user. Tiffany does all of our, any video you see that I put out. Tiffany Williams and Twice Media Production is the company that actually host that and put that on for us. So I'm excited about having Tiffany on the show. It's always good to have young entrepreneurs on the show that's making an impact. So I want you to sit back and learn some things from Tiffany. As always, throw your questions out there in the chat, and we will do our best to get to them. So Tiffany, tell our audience about your career path, how you started, and how did you get to where you are today?
Absolutely. So I actually started my business, as you mentioned in my bio, straight out of college. So I was studying English in undergrad and then got introduced to the world of journalism. I started off wanting to be a novelist. And then through journalism, I learned about video and then went on to get my master's in journalism and documentary filmmaking. And through that, I realized that video was just another medium through which I could tell stories, which was what I was passionate about. And so I fell in love with it and started freelancing as a multimedia journalist in graduate school, and then ended up losing my dad my second year of graduate school and decided that life was too short. I didn't want to go work for a newspaper for the rest of my life. I was going to do things on my own. And so I had been freelancing, and so was able to bring on some of those clients to the business, and then just sort of launched from there. I moved to Houston, not really knowing anybody, not really, having any business experience or job experience for that matter. But I just believed in myself. I believed in my vision, and I wanted to make my dad proud. And here we are, almost 8 years later. So yeah.
Wow. Well, that is awesome. And it had to be, it took a lot of courage to step out on faith and start a business, right? So a lot of people don't have that courage, faith, belief in themselves. What can you tell them about stepping out and just doing it?
Well, at that time, I don't even think it was courage more so than it was just, I was so naive. I mean, I was so young. I was 24 years old, fresh out of grad school, never having, never had a job before. So I really didn't know what to expect about the world. I didn't know what, the world was supposed to be like. So I just believed in myself. And I watched my dad be an entrepreneur all his life. He had an entertainment company and was a DJ. And I saw him with that business, and he had several other businesses along the way. And I was able to work in those businesses in middle school and on up. And so I just learned from him, even though at the time I didn't really see that as a viable option for me. I saw him do it. And so when the opportunity presented itself, I knew somebody that I loved had done it. And I said, why not me? And I've kind of always had that mentality. I love to challenge myself. I love to do things that are going to make me think, make me grow, make me uncomfortable. And I don't know where that comes from, because I'm very different from a lot of people in my family. But I just say once you recognize it in yourself, you've got to just go for it.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm glad that you did it, because obviously you turned out to put out a great product, right? Now, I know you don't want to say that, but I'm saying it. Great product. So, Twice Media. Mm-hmm. Tell us, what is Twice Media?
I'm glad you asked. So Twice Media is a video technology company. We help a brand's message come alive through the power of video storytelling. So we do that through different types of video technology. We always say no company wants to be a Blockbuster in a Netflix world. So we stay on the cutting edge of all the different types of video technology that are available. And we help our clients discover which type of video technology will be right for their brand to deliver their message to whatever audience they're trying to reach. So that could be anything from virtual reality or 360 video. That could be drones, that could be time lapse, that could be a traditional video marketing campaign, or we can even teach you how to shoot videos from your mobile devices to make them look more professional so you can stay relevant and viable online. So essentially, we sit down, we strategize, we figure out what are you trying to do, what goals are you trying to reach, and then we find the right type of video to help you tell that story.
Wow. So storytelling with video, really.
Yep. And our tagline from a few years ago was storytelling drives results. So yeah, absolutely. Everything we do is rooted in storytelling and really just trying to market your brand. And that could be externally trying to reach consumers, or it can be internally if you have a big company and you're trying to reach your team. So whatever type of communication you need, we can find the right type of video to help you convey that message.
That is awesome. So if you are trying to grow your business, if you are trying to expand your footprint, video is a medium that you should be using in your business.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just agreeing with you. Yep.
And Twice Media is one of those companies that help you do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, video is one of the most powerful ways that you can reach consumers nowadays. If you look at some of the social sites that started as text-based, like Twitter, even Facebook, now they give preference to video. And then you look at YouTube being the second largest search engine. So people are really coming to expect video as a part of their everyday lives. And if your brand is not using and leveraging video, then sadly, you're not going to be able to continue to compete for much longer.
Sure, absolutely. So, Tiffany, I know that we're in this COVID crisis, right? And a lot of businesses had challenges. What was the biggest challenge you faced during this crisis? Meaning from your business.
Man, I mean, whew, how do you prepare for a global pandemic, right? So we definitely were impacted as a business. 75% of our revenue is tied to video production and photography. And a lot of that is through events or portraiture or, production sets. So we weren't able to do any of that because every event was canceled. We weren't able to go on location. We weren't able to have people in our studio because we weren't an essential business. So it definitely impacted us. But luckily, we had work that we were able to still do remotely, work with clients that we already had projects open for. So we were able to kind of keep things going. And luckily, I work from home a lot, and so does my editor, and we can access our computers from home. So we were able to keep things going and keep things moving. But I mean, it definitely impacted us for sure.
Sure. And with that impact, is there something that the lay person can do to help you better service them? Let's say we go back into this crisis again and we're in lockdown. Are there things that they could still send you, give you, provide to you, and you still be able to help them get products out, like the video?
You can attest to that. I mean, you were one of those clients that kept working with us throughout the pandemic. I mean, it's still going on, but when it first hit, you were one of the first people to reach out to us for work. And we were able to accommodate your needs by using images and video clips that we had already captured or that you had already captured and put those into final products. So it really is just about communication. And it really is, from a speaker standpoint, just making sure you have stuff from all of your events. A lot of us as business owners, not just speakers, we have archival photos and video clips that we got that are just sitting on a hard drive somewhere and we're not leveraging. You can use all of those things. So the only thing we ask is that we have written permission from whoever the original copyright owner is to put it into your final work. But those are, if it's stuff that you shot on your cell phone or stuff that we shot for you previously, then absolutely, we can do all of that for you remotely and still be able to give you a quality product that you can use to market your business.
So in other words, you're telling me that because of this crisis, it doesn't mean that my business has to stop.
Oh, no. Oh, absolutely not. No, you definitely want to keep it going, and you want to look for opportunities to find new ways of bringing in revenue. So that was another thing that we did. We started to leverage our online offerings. So we had them because we knew we needed them from years ago, but we really hadn't leveraged them the way that we needed to. And so when the crisis hit, we really didn't have a choice. We had to jump on it and really start to put more resources, more marketing, more time and energy into these online products so that we could continue to reach people that we weren't able to reach in person.
Awesome. Well, Tiffany, this is actually a perfect time to talk about an offer that you actually put together for this community, right? And we're using StreamYard to broadcast out, and you put together a intro and outro video package for our audience. And now let me say this, guys. When I go and ask Tiffany for something, meaning a video or something, she puts together high quality, first class stuff. And she also knows what I'm expecting because we've worked together for a long time. And she's just not doing things for small businesses. She's doing things for large organizations. She's put together things for, like, my church, for example. A lot of clients here in the city of Houston. Okay. So when you get something from Twice Media, you're going to be getting a high quality product. But here's what she's done for you guys. And because I told you we have a lot of entrepreneurs listening in. So when you see Talk Leadership with Cedrick every week, there's an intro video and then there's an outro video. So she's put together a package for you. Now let me tell you about this, and then Tiffany, you can expand on this if you want to. This intro outro video package. Let me tell you what you're going to get in this package. One, you have a 30-minute discovery meeting. You have 2 5 to 10 second videos. These are just intro outro videos. If you're using StreamYard, and I know a lot of you are, you want intro outro videos because they're going to make your production look a lot more professional. All right. Editing services, right? I won't go through all the editing services. I'll be able to send this out. You can actually read it, but just know that you'll be getting editing services for this. And this one is for a packet where you already have your footage available. You have some video, you have some pictures, and you can send them. All of this for only $450, folks. I don't know if you understand this, but that's a very good package for intro and outro package. Now, let's say you say, hey, I need a little bit more, right? You want to supersize this. And so she's put together a supersize package for you as well. This is where Twice Media shoots and edits everything, right? Plus you get what I just talked about in the initial package. But now they shoot it. You get that plus the initial package for only $850. Tiffany, you want to add anything about that?
You covered it all. I mean, as you said, it really is a way to make your videos stand out from the rest. It's something that will help people see that uniformity in your brand, and they will gain that familiarity and start to build that trust and know your brand the minute they see it. So it's a really good way to just kind of have that extra push and stay top of mind. And we've put together a very low cost package. And we did that because we understand these are short videos and we are going through a global pandemic, and we wanted to do what we could to help our fellow entrepreneurs out there and help you guys stay visible online and connected to your audiences. So yeah, Cedrick, you summed everything up. And if you guys want to know more, please feel free to reach out to me. My team and I would love to work with you.
Absolutely. And I'll make sure also that you have the information so you can also contact me, because I have it and I can send that flyer to you as well. But a very value-based product at a market share pricing. And my audience know what value-based and market share pricing is. So I'm just putting it in our language so we can all get it. So, hey, what advice would you tell people that's considering changing or improving things to help their business? What's a couple of things you can tell them that's going to help them improve their business or change something they do in their business?
Well, I think whatever you decide to do, you have to start with what is your ultimate goal? Where are you trying to take the vision, or excuse me, where are you trying to take the business? What's your vision? And then once you discover what that is, then you can make the proper changes that are going to help you get there. So I don't think that there's a one size fits all approach to what every business needs. I think it really is going to be dependent on what that company is trying to achieve, and then whatever they need to put in place to get there. I will say things just standard across the board for any business. You need to make sure that you have proper systems and processes in place. So any task that you're doing more than 2 times, you need to have a system for it so that you can easily replicate it. And if you bring on other team members, you can easily explain it to them and they can do it, so that you're not having to do everything if you are a solopreneur and you're trying to grow. So definitely have those systems and processes in place. Definitely have a solid vision so that you can communicate that vision to your team and they can help you get there. But yeah, those are just some basic things off the top of my head that I think helps any business. But yeah, definitely knowing where you're trying to go, then you can determine how best to get there. So.
Okay, awesome. So, you know, we talked about video, we talked about different an offering. And by the way, stay tuned, guys. We have another service offering for you as well. Now, but help us understand why having a video profile for your business is important?
Video, as I said, is one of the most powerful ways to reach consumers right now. Everyone is online. You have the world's attention, and everybody expects video. And it's not just, certain age groups. Everybody consumes video content. So whoever you're trying to reach is definitely online and is definitely using video in some capacity. So you want to have your brand in front of all of these eyeballs that are on the web. And that's really going to be your most effective way of reaching people, because the social media platforms, they're all giving preference to video. So that means if you post something that's text-based on Facebook and you post the video is automatically going to get higher preference on their platform, meaning more people are going to see it. If you upload it natively, meaning you upload it directly to Facebook as opposed to posting a link to like YouTube or somewhere else, then it's automatically going to gain preference. So these social media sites, they have very aggressive algorithms that will hide your content. So video is going to be the way for you to break through some of those algorithms. So definitely video is going to be the way to go for your business if you want to stay visible, stay relevant, and stay connected to your audience online.
If you want to stay visible, if you want to stay relevant, and you want to stay connected to your audience, she says you need to have video. So folks, I'm stressing this because if you don't have video in your business today, you are setting yourself up for failure from a social media perspective, right?
Yeah, and even in your location. So if you have a brick and mortar location, you can have a looping video in the lobby so that people can automatically interact with your brand. I have a client that's a CPA. I told them, hey, how great would it be if you use the TV that's in your lobby area? When a client walks in that has a meeting with you, it says, hi, Tiffany, or hi, Cedrick. How does that make you feel? It makes you feel like this is all about you, that you're important. It's adding to that client experience. And we know that's what it's all about, providing that experience that a client can't get anywhere else, making them feel heard, making them feel like they're the only client you're working with at that time. So there's other ways that you can use video, not just online, but offline as well.
Awesome. So Kevin Turner's watching. He says, great information. He's an associate of mine online. So thanks very much, Kevin, for tuning in. We look forward to any questions that you may have. So Tiffany, I know you're involved in a lot of things outside of just Twice Media Productions, which, that's a lot by itself. But tell us what other things you're involved in. I thought I read something about an investment fund or a venture capital fund that you guys run.
Yeah, absolutely. So in January of this year, myself, along with two co-founders, launched the Diversity Fund Houston. And we are a venture capital fund that is investing primarily in Black and Brown technology founders. Currently, they get less than 2% of venture capital funding. And so we want to combat that issue by providing them funding through our fund. So recently started that. I'm also, as you mentioned in my bio, a board member for Leadership Houston, which is an organization that brings together leaders and emerging leaders throughout the city of Houston and teaches them and exposes them to all the things that make Houston run. So the arts, the culture, the politics, everything surrounding what makes Houston tick, that leaders need to know about so that they can effectively lead their respective organizations. They bring together all of those leaders and help give them that information. And you also gain access to that network of people that are, making major moves in the city. And in addition to that, I'm involved with several other organizations, the Houston Area Urban League, Houston Minority Supplier Development Council, and these organizations all do, they have their own respective focuses. But yeah, I love to be involved with my community. I take my responsibility to give back very seriously. So yeah, I'm involved in a lot.
Well, that is awesome. So in other words, you're telling me that you have a choice of getting wrapped up in your business and says, hey, this is where I'm at, or you can run your business successfully like you have, and still get involved in other organizations to help other people.
Absolutely. You're supposed to run your business. It's not supposed to run you. And I have issues with that to this day myself. When I'm doing stuff that I know I'm not supposed to be doing, tasks that my team is supposed to be doing, I'm supposed to be trusting them to do so that I can step away and do other things. But I think as entrepreneurs, we have that drive about us. We just want to get things done. And so, I grapple with this myself sometimes, but at the end of the day, I have to always remind myself that, you don't build a multi-million-dollar company with one person. You really have to rely and trust your team to do what you hire them to do. And you have to step away. And then when you do that, then you can grow your organization and it will free up your time to do other things that you care about.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about leadership, right? So you're the CEO of Twice Media, and you have a team of people that work on your team. How do you help keep your employees engaged and encouraged?
Well, I think it's a few things. So number one, as I mentioned earlier about that vision, you have to make it clear to them exactly where you are trying to go as an organization. Because then when they know where they're going, they can make the decision if they want to help you get there. But if they don't know, then it's not going to be as easy because, they're like, well, you don't know, I don't know. You don't care, I don't care, right? So I think that's one thing. But then also making sure that you are listening to their ideas. You are taking them seriously. You're understanding how they communicate because everybody communicates differently. You can't communicate with all of your team members the same exact way and think you're going to get the same type of results because certain people learn differently, certain people communicate differently. So it really is just listening to them, understanding what their needs are, and making it an environment where everybody feels like they are going somewhere and they are an integral part of getting you to wherever that destination is that you've set.
So everyone communicates, but few connect. And it's important for you, the leader, to help your team connect with each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Absolutely love that. So here's a question that I always just throw. It's a wild card question that I throw out to people. You're busy running businesses. You're busy helping other businesses grow, leading Houston, all of these things. So when you decide to take a time out and just like chill out and relax, what is it that you do for fun?
Honestly, I don't get a whole lot of free time, but I am learning as I get older that is critical. Self-care is so big and you can't always be about work. So in my spare time, I really just enjoy hanging out with friends, hanging out with family when I can. My family doesn't live here in Houston, not all of them anyway, but just trying to make sure I travel. Obviously, I can't do a lot of that now with COVID. But just, seeing the world and making sure that I make time for me, that I make time for my family, and I make time for the things that are important to me. But yeah, I love to exercise. I love to stay active. I love to read. So yeah, those are probably what I do when I do have a few minutes of free time.
Okay. All right. But you're saying you don't have free time too much.
Not often. But sleep. That's the other thing. Whenever I can get in a good nap, I'm here for it.
Okay. Awesome. So, hey, if you had to think back on your history from when you started in 2012 to where you are today, if you had to pick one or two things that you would do differently, better, or not do at all, what would that be?
Whew, man. I try not to have any regrets. I feel like everything happens for a reason. Sure. And I needed, those challenges to help me learn certain lessons to get to where I am. But I would say probably one of the biggest things is what I mentioned about my team that I still grapple with to this day is just stepping back and trusting them to do what I hired them to do. I have a tendency to, not want to relinquish control all the time. I want to be there. I want to see what's going on. And it doesn't always require that. And so that energy and that time that I spent doing these tasks that I'm not supposed to be doing, I could have been putting into growing the business or improving something that was going to take us to that next level or going after a bigger project. So I would say that's probably the biggest hindrance over the years, is just not stepping back enough and really just trusting the processes, the systems, the team, and everything that I had put in place. And just kind of falling back into that trap of, I got to do everything all the time. So that's probably the biggest takeaway from all of this.
Sure. So let's talk to those other new entrepreneurs that are out there, and they're ready. They're about to start their business and try to do something great like you're doing. And you just said, hey, sometimes you find it hard to relinquish and let go. Finding good team members is important in this process. So what do you do to find those good team members so that you can feel that comfort to let go?
It's interesting. I think before you look at the team member, you have to look at yourself. And I love that this is about leadership, because a few years ago, many years ago, when I first started my company, I was talking to a friend about how challenging it was to find competent people. And he asked me, well, what about the leadership? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm a great leader. And then, I had to really step back and say, hey, you know what? Let me revisit some of these leadership books that I've read over the years. Let me really see what it's like. I actually participated in Leadership Houston, and I realized from all that I wasn't the greatest leader that I thought I was. Like, I needed help, like learning about these different communication styles and some of the other things that I mentioned. So it really took me kind of looking at myself and figuring out who and what type of leader I wanted to be. And then I could find team members that I know I can communicate with, that I know I'm looking for these certain type of qualities, those go-getters, those self-starters, those people that take direction well, but also take initiative. So those are some of the things that I look for. But first I had to look within myself and make sure that I was doing an effective job as a leader before I could rely on them to do anything.
Sure, absolutely. We say, and I'm going to put this to have it scroll across the screen, the law of the lid says leadership ability determines your level of effectiveness. So in other words, your organization will never outperform the leader, right? Your leadership skill is a lid on the organization, right? No matter how good somebody else is on your team, the team will never outperform you. So in other words, to help the team get better, I have to raise my lid, my leadership lid, right? And that's really what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. You always have to be improving, and you always have to be willing to admit when you're wrong and know that life is about constant growth. And so you've got to just be willing to take those punches and keep growing. And then when your team sees that, they'll recognize that and they'll want to do the same.
Awesome. So in that vein of continuing to grow, are there books that you're currently reading or books that you recommend new leaders read?
Sure. Well, the book I'm currently reading is actually, it's called Venture Deals. It's about venture capitalism, being smarter than your lawyer, your venture capitalist. So I encourage anybody that has a startup that's trying to raise VC funding to really check that book out. But in terms of just overall, like some of my favorite books, definitely Michael E. Gerber's The E-Myth Revisited. That is hands down my all-time favorite business book, because it talks about recognizing who you are within yourself. Are you the technician? Are you the manager? Or are you the entrepreneur? And immediately upon reading it, I recognized that I was the entrepreneur. I did not want to be the technician out taking photos. And if you're a baker, then the technician is the baker, or the mechanic, the person that actually does the job with their hands. And I realized that that's not what I wanted to do. But when I first started my business, I didn't know that. So that book really helped me recognize and identify which one of those three I was, because you can't be all three effectively, at least not for any long period of time. And so I always recommend that book. And then Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is another good book. Man, there's so many out there. So many, but those are probably some of my top ones that I would recommend.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to throw a John Maxwell book out just because we're throwing names out, right?
Oh, yeah.
The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the best leadership book on the planet right there.
Definitely. I actually got that book when I was participating in LeadershipTSU. I went to Tennessee State, and that was one of the books they gifted all of us in that program. So that was one of the first leadership books I ever read. Definitely recommend that book as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that endorsement. So, hey, this is a great time for us to talk about your next offer that you have. And again, Tiffany, I asked her to come on the show, and I said, hey, let's look at what things that we have out there that we can offer customers. Now, let me tell you, folks, you're not going to find this deal on the internet somewhere. She put this deal for you guys to take advantage of it, right? So I'm going to also send it out. I can send it out to you via a link, but this is a speaker reel package. Now, Tiff, before we talk about the package itself, tell us what speaker reel means.
So a speaker reel or sizzle reel is essentially just a mashup of different speaking engagements that you might have had to show prospective clients what you're capable of, what your speaker style is. So you can send this out to event planners or anybody that is coordinating any sort of event, and show them kind of what to expect if they were to hire you. So it's typically very short, 60 to 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes at the longest, but it really just kind of shows people the types of topics that you talk about, the other areas that you might specialize in. So even, if you're a speaker, but you could also be an author. So highlighting those other offerings that you might have. So it really just is kind of a quick snapshot into what people can expect if they were to hire you for a speaking gig.
Awesome. So Tiffany put together 3 killer offers for you. So let's talk about each one of these. Tiffany, do you want to explain what each one of them is?
No, you're welcome to.
Okay. All right. So I didn't want to steal your thunder, right? So package 1 is the presenter package. And with this package, this is all about video editing only. So you'll provide the footage and the photos, and Twice Media edits everything for you. You're going to get a 1-hour discovery meeting, story concept development, storyboard outlining, and all the editing that needs to take place with this. For the speaker package, the killer offer is $1,200. Right now, let's say you want to take this up a step farther. She put another package together for you. It's called the Keynote. And if you want to be a professional keynote speaker and be on that circuit, you're going to need a speaker reel. All right. Now, here it is from Twice Media. This is shooting and editing. They're going to shoot it and edit everything. She even gives us an example in here of what that looks like. So I can send that out to you. What's included in here? Everything that was in the presenter package that I talked about is included, plus 2 hours of video shooting on location and or in the studio, and audio of you speaking, and audience testimonies are captured on location doing this. And this killer offer for the keynote is only $1,750, folks. Let me tell you what, I know that's a really, really Good deal. All right. Now, here is if you say, hey, you know what? I'm a top-notch speaker and I need top-notch stuff. Here is a killer offer for you. So what she's done is taken everything that we've talked about so far and put it into this package. And you also get that shooting and editing plus personalized photo shoot session where they shoot the photos for you. So a whole lot of personalization for you. Now, this package is called the Headliner. The Headliner package is available for only $2,500, folks. Again, excellent deal. You're not going to find this anywhere. So 3 killer offers she's put together for you in this speaker reel package. If you're on a budget, you just do the presenter package. If you have some, some revenue that you want to go ahead and invest in yourself, then you upgrade to the keynote package. And then if you are the top-notch guy and you want to really shine and sizzle, then you go to the Headliner, $2,500. All of these are for you guys. So if you want to take advantage of that, put it in the comments and let me know, and we'll send you information about it. And we'll also be able to give you Tiffany's contact information so you can go directly to Twice Media Productions. And guys, you know the videos that I have put out on my website or online. High quality videos. A lot of you have asked me, wow, who does your video? Or do I do it? And I wish I was that good. I'm not that talented. Okay, that's why I'm right here. Okay. So, Tiffany, anything else around that?
No, you nailed it. Everything Cedrick just said. So if you guys are looking for video to showcase your talents and show people what they can expect when they hire you, then definitely have Cedrick send you that link, or I could share it with you, and we can get you started as soon as possible.
Awesome. So, and we'll make sure that you get this information as well. I'll make sure that we do this after the show as well online. So, Tiffany, if you could wave a magic wand, right, and you could change one thing in the world, not just in Houston, not just with Twice Media, but one thing in the world, what would it be and why?
Whew. I don't remember seeing this question.
It was there. It was there.
I must have skimmed a little too quickly.
Yes, you did.
Oh, man. I honestly, there's so much wrong in the world. If I had to pick one thing, I think I would choose for everyone to be truly and genuinely happy. I think a lot of the ails of the world are because people are just unhappy in some way and they want to cause pain to others. So I would just love for everybody to genuinely find happiness, because it's a beautiful feeling.
Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. So, Twice Media has been doing some good stuff in the city of Houston and in the community and with businesses. Is there a specific product or service that you really specialize in, or you say that, I know you can do a lot of things, right? But what is that thing that you say, wow, this is what we're really known for?
Video storytelling. That's our number one thing. If clients want to convey a message to a particular audience, whether that be internal for training purposes or external for marketing purposes, we can really help you sit down and strategize and figure out what type of video is going to be right for whatever your goal you're trying to achieve. And then we can put all those pieces together and bring your vision to life. And that's our bread and butter. That's what we love doing. And we work with a lot of clients that are able to do that for quite a few people. So we can do it. We've got processes and systems to make it efficient, but also to keep it creative and do what it's set out to do.
Okay, awesome. Good leaders ask great questions. And that's why I'm still striving to be a good leader. I haven't figured out those great questions yet. Um, but so what has been, a question or a couple of questions that has impacted you and made a difference in what you do and why you do or how you do something?
You mean questions that people have asked me?
Yes.
Well, that one question I mentioned earlier that my friend asked me, what about the leadership? That definitely challenged me to really self-reflect and understand that there was some improvements that I needed. People asking me, where do I want to see my business go in the next year, 5 years? Those are challenging questions because sometimes you know exactly where you want to go and others you're not so sure. There could be a change in the market. There could be a global pandemic. You could want to, you might gain interest in another company and you're wondering, what's right for you. So I think that's another challenging question. I get asked challenging questions all the time, but, just try to do my best to keep improving as much as I can.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. And as we think about this global pandemic and the possibility, what else could go on, that's one issue. But another issue is what's happening. What's happened right here, Houston was impacted with the George Floyd murder, right? So as a young African-American female business owner, how has this impacted, maybe not your business, but impacted your life?
Man, I'm finally getting to the point where I can talk about it without breaking down. That's how much it impacted me. People are asking what makes George Floyd's death different. And I really honestly don't feel like it's different. And I don't say that to mean that his life wasn't unique and significant. I mean that in the sense that we've been here before. So many people before George Floyd have lost their lives to police brutality and no justice has been brought. And that affects me. And that affects people around me and my community. And as I said earlier, I take my responsibility to my community very seriously. And so it was hard to not only be going through a global pandemic, but to have to experience something on that level. And, it's hard to see and to know that we've been here before. And this time I do think there's going to be changes that haven't been done in the past. But I still think we have a long way to go. And I think that it's going to take us really taking ownership of our respective gifts to really move the needle forward. And I say that in the sense that, you talked about how you love helping entrepreneurs and mentoring them. That's something that I enjoy as well. I love helping entrepreneurs learn the things that I haven't, that I've been through, and help them prevent them from making some of the mistakes that I've made over the years, just from trial and error and just not knowing any better. And also supporting, Black businesses and being very deliberate and intentional, and even when it's inconvenient for me, but making sure that I do those things. And I feel like that's where I've decided to focus my efforts and my energy. And it doesn't mean that I can't do other things. It doesn't mean I can't go march. It doesn't mean I can't go run for political office. It just means that this is where I've decided to focus my energy, and I can't do everything all at once. And so I think each of us has a responsibility to pick our lane and to be very deliberate and intentional about moving it forward, and understand that we're all working together to try to bring about change to a problem that has persisted for way too long.
Sure, absolutely. Tiffany, you have a show on the weekends. What is it, and how can people tune in?
Well, it's in my Facebook group, which is Video Toolkit, DIY Tech and Marketing Tips for Business. And in that group, every week, I go live, typically with a guest. Sometimes it's just me, but I give information on how to improve your videos, whether you're doing them yourself or whether you're hiring a professional company. Also, some of the new video technology that's coming out, So we did a whole episode about StreamYard one time and about some of the other third-party live streaming apps. So we just talk about different things that can help you market your business through the power of video.
Awesome. And can anybody tune in?
You have to join the group in order to gain access to those videos. But yeah, anybody can sign up for the group.
All right. So, one of the things I didn't do, Tiffany, and I'm typing it now, I'm putting it in on the banner, Twice Media Productions, but give me your website so that people can reach out to you.
Absolutely. It is just the name of the company, twicemediaproductions.com.
Perfect. And I might have that scroll here.
Okay. Yep, that's perfect.
Wait, hold on. Where's the website? Yeah, I got it here somewhere. All right. Why is it not showing? Hold on.
It's on there. It's just not scrolling, but it's up there.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I was looking for the scroll. That was very intentional.
It's still up there. They can get it.
I was like, what's wrong with this system? It's supposed to work. But so in your weekend session, and the reason I brought that up is because in your weekend session, there was a session you guys did. I think his name is Tristan. Did a show on Facebook ads.
Yep.
Right. So my point, audience, is you want to join her group and tune in, because even though she's in a video production company, she teaches you how to do a lot of things on your own. She gives you a lot of tips and tools. I listened in one Saturday and heard about these Facebook ads. And then I ended up going to that person's website and signed up for his Facebook ads class. Mm-hmm. And then what did I do with that resource? I then taught my following people how to do Facebook ads the proper way.
Nice.
Right. So what she's doing here, it's called, the leader teaching other people how to lead. So train the trainer, if you will. So tune in, go to her Facebook page and find that. Give us the name again.
It is a video toolkit, DIY tech and marketing tips for business. And I can put that in the comments. It's kind of long.
Yeah, that would be good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Yeah, and I'll pop that up so that people can see that. I'm telling you guys, you want to tune into those sessions on the weekend. You're going to find out. This weekend, they did something with Canva.
Yep. So every week, as I mentioned, we do different topics. So like Cedrick said, we did the Facebook ads one week. I had a lawyer come on one week and talk about copyrighted music, and does writing, I don't own the rights to this music, actually protect you? We had an accountant come on and talk about how he was able to grow his service-based business through Instagram stories. We did the one last week or this past weekend on Canva and how you can design great looking graphics for your videos. And you can even create and edit videos directly within Canva, which is a graphics app, but you can now do video. So we talk about all those cool things to help you do a lot of stuff on your own. Because I understand, as a video company, everything you need to do doesn't require a full camera crew. There's too many videos that need to be produced for you to have, nobody has a budget for that. Even the big brands are doing mobile videos from their phones. So there's so much you can do on your own. It's not a replacement for professional video production, but it's definitely something that can supplement your marketing. So I'm a big proponent of DIY video and teaching you all the tips and tools so that you can do stuff on your own.
Yes, and it's on some weekends on Saturday, some's on Sunday. It's
primarily on Sundays. I typically will do it on a Saturday when it's a holiday. So this coming weekend, since it's Father's Day, I'll likely be doing it on Saturday.
Okay, what time?
It's typically at 2:00. But if a guest asks for a different time, it's usually maybe a little earlier. But I try to keep it Sundays at 2:00 whenever I can.
And that's 2 p.m. Central Time, folks, because I know that I see a lot of people on the East Coast that are tuning in. So 2 p.m. Central, typically on Sunday, 2 p.m. Central. This weekend, because it's Father's Day weekend, it's going to be on Saturday at 2 p.m. Central. All right. So, Tiffany, if people were trying to decide whether they should do a video on their own or go out and have a company make a video for them, what's some of the things that you say that, hey, they need to decide before they go to a company to do it?
So you definitely want, I always say start with a strategy in mind, because if you know, kind of have your year planned out of what types of videos you want to create or what events are coming up, what holidays are coming up, then you can properly plan it and you can determine whether or not it's a cell phone video will suffice or whether you need to hire a professional company to do it. So once you've got that strategy in place, then from there, like I said, you can kind of plan out where it makes sense. And so if you know that there's a huge event coming up that you're having and you want to promote it and you're going to need a video for it, then you can be putting everything you need in place to make that happen. But you could be doing cell phone videos or Instagram stories or some behind the scenes stuff leading up to that will supplement that video that you paid to have professionally done. So I think the benefit of working with the company is that we can help you put that strategy together, and we're going to make recommendations on a lot of DIY videos and some professional videos. And then you can kind of determine which ones are going to work for you and work with your budget. But if you don't have the budget for that, then there's a lot of stuff you can do on your own. But it really is just about planning and strategizing and making sure you're leveraging all that you can do with video.
Awesome. So look at this, folks. Tonight, Tiffany came on to talk with you about video production, gave you several killer offers, and I will make sure that if you want any of those, reach out to me and I'll make sure that you get that offer. And then you can reach directly out to Tiffany and they'll take care of you. If you're looking for high quality production videos, then you need to be working with Twice Media Productions. Guys, I don't just give money to just any and everybody and any and every company. I only use Twice Media Production for videos that I have because I know the quality of work that's going to happen. I only recommend high quality organizations as well. So if you want a high quality product, you need to be reaching out to Tiffany Williams and Twice Media Productions, right? Tiffany, any closing words that you want to give?
Only thing I have to say is thank you, Cedrick, for inviting me on your show tonight. It's been fun to talk about video. I could do this all day. I love talking about business. So I'm excited to be here. I'm glad you thought enough of me to bring me on your show. And I'm just excited. And I'm excited to work with anybody that's watching that wants to get started on their video marketing and turn it around and really start to stay connected and reach their consumers. So I'm appreciative, very, very grateful for the opportunity.
Awesome. Well, I'll be with my tribe of folks over the next 2 to 3 days, starting tomorrow morning. So I'll be making sure that they also see this offer directly from me as well. I want to thank you again for taking the time to come on the show. And, as always, I appreciate you and everything that you do. Everybody needs a little TLC. So thank you tonight for tuning in for Talk Leadership with Cedrick. I hope our guest provided some things. I know that our guest provided some things that you can use. I just hope that you take advantage of those things. And if you enjoyed this, I want you to type yes in the comment section. If you're going to take away something that Tiffany said and be able to use in your business, I want you to type yes in the comment section. If you want us to continue to bring these type things to you, I need you to type yes in the comment section. We recently launched a new service called 1550 Marketing. This is where you purchase up to 60 minutes, 15, 30, 45, or 60-minute segment, and we market your business to a new audience. We dedicate a show to your business. Yes, on our time, we dedicate a show to your business, even if your business is the same as my business. I don't care. I want to help market your business. If you're thinking, why would I do that? Because if you're not marketing your business to a new audience, you're destined to go out of business. See, the principles I learned to use when I had a responsibility for a $1 billion product, that's a billion with a B, folks. When I had a responsibility for that product, the same principles that we use, that's the same strategies and principles that I use. So you can feel free to reach out to me and contact me. Now, tune in tomorrow night, folks. You know, we have Talk Leadership with Cedrick tomorrow night as well. Our guest will be Mr. Mark Smith. Mark is the retired divisional vice president of Abbott Laboratories. Now, Abbott Laboratories is one of the top 10 largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. So we're bringing in some heavy hitters with you again tomorrow night. He is also the author of Core Values, a lifetime of leadership lessons learned as a Texas Aggie cadet. So tell all your Aggie friends to tune in tomorrow night and show up for Mr. Mark Smith. Now, next Monday, June 22nd, we'll have Ms. Desiree Bellard with the Faith Collection. On next Tuesday night, we'll have two shows, actually. 6:30 to 7:30, we'll have U.S. Senate candidate from Louisiana, D'Artagnan Williams, will be on the show. And then at 7:45, all my folks in Lake Charles, you need to be tuning up. You need to be here at 7:45. Mr. Marshall Simeon will be in the house. You know, Marshall is an attorney in Lake Charles, and he will be here talking about the Enterprise Extension Project. You know, there's a big meeting coming up on July 1 in Lake Charles. So you need to be here next Tuesday night at 7:45 p.m. for that. Always remember, if you're not on the table, you're on the menu. Don't be on the menu. So join us tomorrow night. You know, everybody needs a little TLC. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great evening.